So the Republican bill, their solution, right, to deal with the debt ceiling, we're gonna make all these cuts, right? And we've got through this before. Kevin McCarthy, who's the Speaker of the House, is an idiot, but he had to make all these backwater deals just to become Speaker. So when they got to, well, what cuts should we make? It's like, well, we can't really cut the military, we can't really cut this or that, or blah blah blah. So what do? They went to the old sorting hat and they pulled out, let's cut food stamps, let's cut benefits for college students, student loan forgiveness. So here they are. Here's the Republicans. Here's I forget who. This is Maria Bartiromo, her show, and this woman is Republican, and she's celebrating all the cuts we're going to make to poor people.
You'll find out when I get on the House floor. So it's a non-answer. But to the work requirements, I mean, we have 40 million Americans who are able-bodied with no dependents that are of working age that aren't working. Mm-hmm. So if you are going to be accepting benefits like SNAP and others, I think, or Medicaid, I think it's important that you are actively seeking a job, that you are in the workforce. And so this is something that people across the country have asked for, and we've delivered. And like I said, there's
bosses.
Yeah. So that's the thing. And he was right. Bosses have asked for this. What she's missing is...
Well,
go ahead.
I think she's incredibly uninformed. I mean, there are people that do not have jobs that are using these resources, but quite frankly, I know a lot of people that are utilizing these resources that are employed.
Mm-hmm. Most are.
They literally just don't make enough money. They are employed, mm-hmm. but they do not earn enough money to be able to go without the supplementary resource.
Well, the thing that cracks me up about this is when you talk, okay, so we've done this before. Roughly 211 million Americans are working right now, right? We've covered this. Out of the 330 million, right? So 120 million are children, or they're elderly, or they disabled, or whatever, right? Of the 40 million she's talking about, most of them are either in college, and they're not taking food stamps because they're in college, right? So that's part of it. And the other big chunk of that 40 million aren't working are mothers and fathers who are stay-at-home parents, and the other parent works full-time. Why? Because they can't afford daycare, because daycare is too freaking expensive. Even if you were working full-time, daycare would probably cost more than you would make.
Yes, there's a person in my life that would prefer to be working as opposed to being a stay-at-home parent, but has multiple children under school age. And she said, quite frankly, I can't find a daycare situation that wouldn't cost more than I actually can earn.
Right. That would be the thing. Is like if you had, say, 2 or 3 kids, and daycare's cheap daycare would probably be what, $800, $1,000 a month, minimum. I mean, that would be cheap, but that's $3,000 a month.
Right.
I mean, that's a full-time gig for a lot of people. So, I mean, once again, it's a whole stupid thing. Well, 40 million people aren't working. But also, what she doesn't make the connection of those 40 million people, not all of them are on food stamps.
Right.
A lot of them are college students, or they retired early, or...
Right. Are we certain these are the same 40 million people? Like, are they the same people?
Right. How many people
Not necessarily.
How many people on food stamps actually work part-time or more? Probably most of them.
Yeah, I know plenty. I know plenty of people that are on state insurance programs and have food stamps, and they are employed. Mm-hmm. They are not unemployed people, know?
So, once again, just celebrating. And they were like, yep, and this is what the people want. What people? Employers. Because we want them desperate and coming to work for as cheap as possible, because they're so desperate for anything they can get. And then I guess their kids' daycare will be, their nanny will be Mrs. Padlock. You just lock them in a room,
Right.
throw some food in
Jeez.
there and go to work because you don't have any other options. I mean,
Right. Throw a sleeve of crackers in periodically.
right. Well, because that's all you can afford. You're not getting food stamps.
Right. Exactly. Here's your tap water and the sleeve of crackers.
Oh man. So there it was. That's our news segment for the day. I just God. Oh, it gets worse.